welcome back to my channel. Before I say anything, my fan is on, so if you're hearing any noise in the background, if it sounds noisy, it is the fan. In today's video, I will be talking about my very first identity crisis, which happened when I first came to the US. I go into the full gist. If you're new to my channel, welcome. I love you guys. Thank you for checking me out. Don't forget to click the subscribe button below and also click the notification bell that appears right after you click subscribe. Also, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up if you like it and share it with your friends. And if you're returning subscribers, you guys are the real MVP. Thank you so much for sticking with me. Okay, now let's get into the full gist. So, as a Nigerian, I was born and raised in Nigeria. So, I mean, my whole growing up, just my whole idea. Why is it so hard to talk today? My whole idea of identity was very limited, right? I mean, when in Nigeria, first of all, we're a lot of people. So, most times growing up in Nigeria, you're not even necessarily thinking about Africa. You're just thinking of Nigeria because there are too many people. There are too many. Okay? So, growing up, like, when in terms of identity, I knew that okay, I'm female first of all, and then I'm Igbo by tribe because both my parents are Igbo, and then I'm Nigerian, and that's it. Very rarely did I ever think of myself as African, to be honest. I'm being honest. Like, yes, I knew that I was African, but it wasn't like an immediate thought for me because being in Nigeria is just its own bubble, a very large bubble on its own, right? So, you know, I'm coming for college here in the US and I'm thinking, okay, I'm an international student, so if someone asks me, you know, introduce yourself, you know, I'm just gonna say my name and where I'm from probably, and if they want to know something about maybe the course I want to study or something, that's different. So I came here for orientation. Orientation is for new students that are coming in that academic year. They just make you come to school like 1 or 2 weeks before the rest of the students, and it just gives them time to help you get familiar with like procedures and what you're supposed to do, so you're not completely lost by the time school actually resumes. Came for orientation, and you know, first week or first couple of days we're introducing ourselves, and they say, okay, you know, let's go around, introduce ourselves. You say your name, where you're from, why you decided to come to Smith, and your pronoun. And I was like, pronoun? How? Like, is it that you don't know the pronouns for women, or like what's going on? So I said, let me watch now and see what people are saying. And people started introducing themselves, and you know, first couple of people, okay, my name is this, I'm from this, blah blah blah, and my pronouns are she, her. I started thinking, okay, wait, I mean, it's correct, like based on what I grew up thinking, you know, it's correct, you know, okay, you are female, obviously you should be using she, her pronouns. Like, what else are you supposed to be using? That was how I was thinking at the time. And then it got to a couple of people who started to say things like, oh, my pronoun is they, them. And I'm like, I don't understand. What are you saying? I'm confused. Like, how can one person use pronouns that are obviously plural? Like, I was so lost. And it got even weirder, and people would say things like, and I use Z pronoun. I'm like, what? I'm pretty sure that I know English well, and I'm pretty sure that Z is not a pronoun. So how exactly do you use the pronoun Z? You can't exactly start asking questions there. So I just kept my mouth shut. When it was my turn, I said, you know, my pronouns are she, her, because what else should they be? And ladies and gentlemen and everybody else, that was the beginning of my identity crisis. Okay, so Smith is a very unique school. I love them, I love it to death, but it can be a little confusing and a little intense for someone like me, international student coming from a place, Nigeria, where we're brought up in such a conservative way that like there's no room to sort of explore anything that people feel like is out of the norm. It's just you grow up with them telling you this is this and that is it. You ask any questions and it starts to look like you're being disrespectful to elders, or like you're just being strong-headed. And so being raised like that, right? And don't get me wrong, I already knew the reason why I was even going to Smith in the first place was because I was kind of getting the vibes that things were not exactly normal there, you know. And I kind of already got the vibe that I would be able to explore just and have the time to really figure out myself, who I am, what I want to do in that school, right? And I wouldn't have had that opportunity in many other schools. So I already had the little knowledge that things were a little different at Smith, but not like this, you know. I didn't really think of it in this aspect. And so during the course of my stay there, a lot of things that about identity just were thrown at me like in rapid succession. And at some point I was like, wait, are you guys even sure that I'm a girl? Like, are you even sure that I'm female? Like, am I sure? Like, am I sure that I like men? Like, I'm serious. Like, I started to question a lot of things. Like, wait, I didn't even know that these other things were really options available to me. So, like, let me stop and think about this real quick, just to make sure that, you know, I've not been lying to myself this whole time. So, in the process of getting all of that information, I learned a few things that confused me at first, but with time, you know, I figured things out. First thing that I learned is that the pronouns that you grow up being taught are not the only pronouns that apparently exist. Okay, it is possible for people to choose their own pronouns, okay, because they just feel like maybe the one that is automatically assigned to them based on the gender that they're assigned at birth, maybe that pronoun just doesn't work for them, and so they change it to something else. And it was like there's no fast and hard rule about pronouns in this place apparently. So you would see people that identify as female but don't use feminine pronouns, she, her. They use plural pronouns, or they use Z because they don't want to be limited by any pronoun. But honestly, with time, I figured out that a lot of things don't have to make sense to me, but if it makes sense to the people that are doing it or using it, and it doesn't cause any harm to me or to others, then okay. You want me to call you, use your Z pronouns? I'll use your Z pronouns. It's fine. I'll do it. Then the second thing I learned was that the gender you are assigned is not necessarily the gender that the person will grow up to identify with. Okay? So during the course of my stay at Smith, it got to a point where the school admission board had to even like sit down and think about like how people, who do they admit. It says that it's an all women's college, but there were people, but then do you exclude people who are transitioning from being male to female? Like, do you deny them access to college because their birth certificate said male? And there were protests and all of these, and in between all that, I'm just like how, like, I've never, there were so many people, right, that sort of didn't fit into the boxes, the gender boxes of male and female at that school. Or I don't know if it's that there were so many of them or that they were just very vocal about it, but it did seem like there were so many of them. And I'm not gonna lie, at some point I had to sit myself down and be like, wait, have you ever in any way felt like the female gender doesn't suit you? I had to ask myself these questions. Like, I'm serious, I'm not joking, okay? At the end of the day, you know, I had never ever felt like being female was a problem for me. I didn't feel like I didn't fit into that gender of being female. So, you know, I stayed female, okay? Over the years being here, it's just been very interesting to think of how my understanding of what identity means has evolved over the years with all of the information that I've, you know, gathered as I've been here. I came here thinking when it comes to identity, all I have to think about is that I'm female, that I'm Igbo by tribe, and then I'm Nigerian, and that's it. And I came here and all of a sudden I had to seriously think about, wait, this gender that I'm saying that I am, is it really what I am? Is it what I'm comfortable with? Is it what I feel like I am? This pronoun that people are using for me, like, you know, do I want it to be something else? These are things I would have never thought about in Nigeria. I'm sure most of you in Nigeria are just like what? Like, what are you saying? Pronoun? Like, who does not know what their pronoun? Like, but yeah, guys, people make up their pronouns here. People can pick whatever pronouns they want to pick, and they will tell you, and you have to go along with it. If not, it's just plain disrespectful. At the end of the day, right, like I said, as long as it does not hurt me, it doesn't hurt anybody else, I really don't have a problem with it. Like, I will never even get into arguments about what is right and what is not right. You don't have to accept something to just respect it and respect the person. You don't have to accept something, you just have to respect it and respect their decisions, and that's it. That's what I do, and I just keep it moving. So yeah, nothing really changed. You know, the crisis was just a process of me questioning some things, but you know, it only served to reaffirm that yes, I'm female, she, her are my pronouns, you know, and yeah, it's all good. But I'm glad that I got to experience, that I got to learn about all of these things, and you know, just ask myself those questions. Like, it was good for me. I feel like it was good. It was a good way to just reflect on everything and be short and be well grounded in who I am as a person. Okay, so guys, that brings us to the end of this video. If you've stayed up until this point, you are the real MVP. If you still haven't subscribed by now, please subscribe. Give my video a thumbs up if you liked it, and share it with your friends. Subscribing, liking, sharing my videos are always for you to show your support and encouragement, and they help me to make good decisions about what kinds of videos to put out. Okay, so guys, subscribe if you have not subscribed, and tell everybody in your family, your friends, your enemies, your foes, let them all shall subscribe. Okay. Thank you guys for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.